What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We are sitting at about $440 right now. Looking good, you guys. Looking fresh. Bitcoin's at 97K right now. Looking like it might pull back a little bit from here, probably down to 95K. But I think overall it is on a bullish trajectory upwards, right? We look at this daily time frame, man, and it's getting ready. It is getting ready to rally and rip. BCH2, it really is, and I think that it's going to rip dramatically harder than Bitcoin is, guys. We're looking at a $440 price right now, looking at the weekly RSI in absolutely immaculate posturing, higher lows here, right at the 50, looking for a bounce here, an area that we've bounced before throughout this cycle and found support at, right? I do think that this here, not only bouncing off the 50 would be significant, but bouncing off of these higher lows here would be significant and take us up to our overbought zone, leading us to our next bull market move up, right? Each time that we've gotten into the overbought zone, we've seen these kind of significant moves to the upside, right? Overbought here, big move here, overbought there, big move there, right? And then overbought here. It wasn't as overbought as either of these moves, but still, that's a decent move. It didn't happen as fast as some of these moves, but that's a decent move, man. From 321 all the way up to 640 in the course of 5 weeks. That's not bad, right? That's not bad at all. So I do believe that what we're doing now is we're going up into that overbought zone, okay? And the RSI is kind of weird. It's kind of this weird thing, you guys, that it mimics the price, but it doesn't mimic the price, right? Like you would think if the RSI from a low to a high saw this big of a move, and then on this next bit it just sees this little move, you would think that this move would be bigger than this move. But that's not the case at all, because this, what it comes from, what you kind of have to think of it like, you don't have to, but this is how I think of it, is like you're coming from lower readings in the RSI. So when you see those stronger readings, they're going to be relative to weaker price readings in the beginning, right? Does that make any sense? But now that you've been overbought, you've pulled back, now you're coming from a place that is higher. Okay, you're coming from a place that's stronger. So when you move up to the overbought zone, your moves will actually be bigger than they were coming from this area when you were at lower prices. Does that make sense? So you can see basically from here to here the same growth in the RSI as you did from here to here, but the price action, while it only grew this much from there in the RSI, I think you would grow more than that now. Seeing this, does that make all the sense in the world? Does that make sense, right? From here to here last time, it only moved you up to there. Okay, it gave you this move. It would give you, if we measured it from here, it would move you up to about $711, $720, something like that, right? If we measured it tit for tat with the RSI, what it did last move. But the tit for tat measurement on the RSI, I think it can be held just like this tit for tat, but the move then would not be here. I think it would actually be bigger. I think it would be bigger. Not crazy bigger, but that's only if the RSI was the same. If the RSI grows more, and I think it will grow more, I think that, again, that was a weak reading compared to what we've seen already. I think this next move will be above that high and probably likely get to that 85 or higher reading. I think, you guys, this is a big deal, okay? I'm getting a little bit eager, a little bit antsy. I don't know what word to use here. Excited is probably the best word. Because I think this is a bold prediction right here, what I'm about to say. I think we go above that line in the RSI. I think this next move takes us above that line in the RSI. I think it does. I think we will see the strongest readings in Bitcoin Cash's life on a weekly RSI basis off of this next move. And do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? That would mean that we might possibly see the strongest move that Bitcoin Cash has ever seen in its life, right? That's all I'm getting at, right? And if we don't still, okay, cool, that's fine. Then we'll at least reach for this line where we are at comparable levels to the strongest readings we've ever seen, right? Coming off of areas that are a little bit more bullish, I think, a little bit more bullish recognition here in this overall pattern. And then also breaking this idea of a downtrend with lower highs here if we get above this high and when we get above this high. We're doing all these kind of subconsciously bullish things, if that makes any sense, along with the big daddy, right, the breaking out of this overall trend that we've had. But I think that's a big deal, man. I think not only on a weekly basis but on a monthly basis too, Bitcoin Cash is about to put in the highest readings at the end of the cycle, highest readings it's ever seen. At the end of this move, by the end of February, if not sometime in April, May, I suspect the weekly RSI will see readings above 90 for the first time in Bitcoin Cash's history, man. So what that means for the price is just astronomical, phenomenal growth, right? From a high to a low here, the minimum expectation would be 936. But I don't think, with everything that we've set up with this weekly RSI, with the way that the RSI is set up, and then just the culmination of breaking out of this multi-cycle consolidation phase that you've been in, culmination of the ribbons, flashing bullish signals, right? All these things. You don't know what I'm talking about with the ribbons. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about with the ribbons by now, but let's just pull that up in case there's any newbies in here who aren't aware, and that's okay if you are. You don't know until you know, man. It's not a big deal. But the ribbon here, it's flipped bullish. You can see, oops, that's not what I meant to do. You can see the yellow line has been down. We've been in a bearish posturing its whole life, but now on a monthly level, a very significant time frame, it's flipping bullish. It is flipping bullish. We close this month green. We have 6 days, 20 hours left. We close this month green. It's going to flip bullish. Culmination of that, which is, by the way, whether you know about the ribbon or you don't know about the ribbon, that is extremely bullish shit right there, guys. That's like fundamentally, you can't have a good stock, you can't have a good crypto chart unless the monthly ribbon is bullish. Okay, and that's been something that Bitcoin Cash has not had, but we're about to get it. It's monumentous. It truly is. Culminate that with the fact that we are breaking out of this multi-cycle, lifelong consolidation phase. It's also monumentous. I think that together will get us these newfound areas on a weekly basis in the RSI that we've never seen before, right? A strong move. So with the strongest readings that we've ever seen, or at least readings near the strongest readings we've ever seen before for Bitcoin Cash, I think it's more than likely that we don't stop at the minimum target. Right? $1,000, maybe, but probably not even there. I think the 1618 is a very suitable minimum target, right? Normally I identify this, the primary zone, that's the high end of this primary target. That's not even that'd be like your maximum target, but I think that's the minimum target. And another reason for that, besides everything else we've said, right, it's just we take a high to low of this consolidation phase. You topped off above the 1886, above the 200 area right there. We take the next high here to, if I can get it on the high, to the next low here. And Bitcoin Cash topped off again above the 1886 200 level. So for reference, for this fib from a high to low, that would put us at $1,700 to $1,900. Calling for the 1618 as a minimum price expectation, I think, is generous. I think it's generous and fair, especially in culmination with, again, everything else that we've got going on potentially here. We wouldn't even need this stuff going on to identify right now what we're doing in the charts for Bitcoin Cash is extremely bullish and likely would lead us to a bigger move than what we saw here, right? Which, if that's going to lead to a bigger move than we saw here, I mean, we're at least breaking out of the consolidation phase. We're at least hitting that minimum target, and there's all the reason to believe that we would exceed $1,000, right? But still holding out for that $1,700 to $1,900 area by the end of this move. You don't know. We never know what's going to happen. It could happen, right? Maybe we close the month of February, or we average out our price around this area, but we have a wicked day or a wicked week where we just see a quick price up to here and then we sell off quickly. You know, something like that could happen. Calling for the price to go up here is not the same as like living up there, right? When I was calling for the price up here, I think I was actually calling for it to go higher. Once it got below 650, I was calling for it to go lower. But calling, what was the point that I was just trying to make? Oh, I can't remember. What was the point I was trying to make? I don't remember. I don't even remember, man. But I think it's going higher. So with that, I'm going to leave you. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.